Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of This Week at Flyers Hockey, and we got a jam-packed show for you here today. I'm your host, James Scorza, with you. And with me, as always, is my group of companions on a very busy Monday afternoon. Austin Hammel and Joey Marks will join us hopefully momentarily. Having a little bit of Wi-Fi problems. Austin, good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Good to see you too. I mean, we had that big letdown with the Eagles game yesterday. Us soccer
Yeah.
fans are also, sort of picking up the pieces from the Philadelphia Union losing to NYCFC last night. But the main bright spot for the week was that the Flyers won both games.
Yep. Yeah, that's where we're going to start up with the Flyers here today. Obviously, coming back on Thursday against the Blues was a really good game for them, and then on Saturday, a very good game against the Devils. It was a helter skelter game, like I brought up here. 3 goals in 26 seconds, and let's dive right into it, shall we? So,
Oh,
sorry
dang.
about that. So apparently, I guess I think the reason why there's a lot of craziness with all the streets going on because they're digging up the streets and all that. But it's
Oh,
all good.
yeah.
So no worries about that. So it's all good. So let's get into the game. Let's talk about the game on Thursday actually, because it felt like there was a big concerning part in the game, like going to the last couple games, that they had some struggles in the first period, and it kind of showed in that game against the Blues on Thursday. So Austin, I'll ask you this question here. The slow start that happened on Thursday, it felt like it rebounded again on. I think it was a better rebound than it was on Thursday night, and they had a better rebound of scoring 3 goals in 26 seconds on Saturday night against the Devils. So, how do you feel about coming into this game here tonight against Tampa Bay? I mean, you think this will be something to like springboard into probably a little bit of a winning streak for this Flyers team in these last couple games?
Honestly, I am feeling really good going into the game tonight against Tampa. Thursday, I feel like was getting the rust off after being off since what was it, the
Drag
previous
racing on our
Saturday. So, I mean, you had a lot of
Right.
time off to sort of get yourselves right going into a couple of key games before you go out on the road through the Thanksgiving holiday.
Mm.
And to come back from down two to force overtime and win against St. Louis and then have the gates open up for you on Saturday against the New Jersey Devils. In my opinion, at this point in the season, a very key matchup for Philadelphia playing against a very highly ranked New Jersey Devils team. You're coming into the game tonight in Tampa with a ton of momentum. That's especially after the way you performed on Saturday. Like that had to feel great for everybody involved, especially against it, like I said, against a division rival and having it be your send-off game for the rest of the month of November. That was exactly how you wanted to end your homestand before this road trip.
Yeah.
You wanted to have every single fan in that building leaving with a big smile on their face with their hopes up, and you as a team carrying momentum into a game against a team who's pretty much around the same position as you are in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
It's overall just the grind and the tenacity was there for both games this week. I'll probably touch more on him again later because I just love talking about this guy. Dan Vladar was
Man,
incredible this week,
he was.
especially in the New Jersey game, man. He was on his head in that game, making so many incredible saves. But one of the things I wanted to talk about on the other side during this week, Justin Falk, dude, this guy can't seem to not score against us all of a sudden.
He
It's
seems like he's a
insane.
killer. He's like
Yeah.
his own kryptonite. He's he's kind of
Well,
like a flyer killer.
yeah, like 3 or 4 goals in the 2 games for him alone. Like
Yeah.
the guy's been around for a while too. Him
Yeah.
and Cam Fowler both. Like both of those guys have been around for a hot minute. And to see Justin Falk still able to perform like that is actually really cool to see. But like aside from that, aside from Justin Falk getting lucky a couple of times on some good shots from the point with traffic in front, Vladar played solid the whole rest of the way. A lot of really spectacular saves. And then even in the New Jersey game, doing what he did to be able to help Philadelphia find that momentum to be able to carry forward and just open up on New Jersey. I feel like he and honestly the play in in both the face-off circle, on the forecheck, and also in front of the net for Noah Cates this week was huge for Philadelphia. Just 3 or 4 different plays throughout both games where either he's putting a body on somebody and getting a loose puck, or just being in front of the net and getting like deflections and things like that. Like Noah Cates played out of sight this week, and those two guys, especially for Noah Cates being your occasional, sometimes second, maybe third line center, to have that kind of play from that spot is huge. Even more so, getting the play that you saw from Dan Vladar this week was big. Because if your goalie can keep you in a game and you have the offensive capability that Philadelphia is known to have, you're in such a solid position. And those guys were key components to that success this week.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the other thing too that I took out of this week is, like you said, it best with Dan Vlador standing on his head on that Saturday game against the Devils. I thought it was a very good game by him. The game that surprised me the most is how they came back against St. Louis after being trailing down in for a couple periods. And in that third period, they just turn on the Jets. And like, this is the thing that really surprises me the most, Austin, is that they have a good team that, even though when they're out, they're never entirely out. They like basically come back in the game and force a game on you. I mean, even when they lose games, it's like a very good loss. It's like when we lose games, it's like, okay, we would lose a game and we're like asking like what exactly happened, But at the same time too, I was really excited about what this Flyers team has shown me in these last handful of months, especially the first game against the Panthers in that game, and also how Dan Vladar was standing on his head in that game against the Panthers in the first game of the season. And it hasn't changed ever since then, and I think that's going to be even more of a better boost for them going forward in games that are going to make them matter when the games matter the most, when that time calls for it. And right now, I mean, the good thing about the Flyers right now is they're standing right now at second place in the wild card right now. Like they're in postseason play if this playoff started today, and that's a real good positive going into the Thanksgiving break, and especially probably going into the holiday break, especially what the Flyers are capable of. And I have to say right now, they have played very, very good hockey these last handful of months.
Yeah, and like you said earlier in that in your thing there, Philadelphia is never truly out of a game because of the talent that they have on the offensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Zegras, Sean Couturier, Travis Konechny, and Matvei Michkov alone, those 5 guys are enough for you to want to have to keep them in consideration every time you're going deep into a game. Mm-hmm. But not only that, like I said, Noah Cates, Christian Dvorak, like some of these guys are just like guys that are just putting everything they can out there to help see this team win, because they know that any other organization, they probably wouldn't be having this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, who was it? His name, Nick Delorier's name got mentioned like 5-6 times during the New Jersey game.
Right.
Like every single guy at every single level of play throughout those 2 games on Thursday and Saturday were exactly what you wanted to see from this team.
Right.
Like, be it a game where you're down and you need these guys to really rely on their skill and their talent to get them through to a win. You saw it in the St. Louis game, but to also let that talent take over and be able to just open up floodgates on a team. You got that too. You got every facet of positive play from Philadelphia. And then, like you said, knowing that you can be down in a game and still have the ability, even in the deep waters of like within the last 5-6 minutes, to be able to still have that fight in you and help push your team to a win. It's incredible to see. This has been such a revelation for Flyers hockey this year, seeing the talent that we have in Dan Vladar, Jamie Drysdale and Travis Sanheim. Sanheim getting the game winner in overtime against St. Louis. Yep. Trevor Zegras, even though he didn't really factor a lot in the point sheet for those 2 games, his play had such impact. He finally got a goal in the New Jersey game, and it was gorgeous. playing with the puck in front of him coming up, you never expect a guy to immediately go straight to the hip and shoot. You expect him to make some sort of a move, but he had a guy in his back pocket. So he had to do something quick and get the puck up. And man, did he get that thing up. Like that Tyson Forster getting 2 in 9.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and both of them were on incredible feeds from Noah Cates. Like,
right.
It's all the different facets of the game that you're expecting to see a very successful team be able to do at any given time. And you're seeing it even in flashes throughout this season so far. You're getting consistent looks at it throughout this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get your point of view about Tyson Forster real quick, because I remember watching that game and those 2 goals scored by like in a matter of like 20. Actually, it was 3 goals obviously in 26 seconds, but those 2 goals before that with Tyson Forster, how they scored easily. Yeah. He has been a real good piece for this Flyers team all season long. I mean, early on this season, and he showed a lot of poise too early on in this season against the Panthers, like I brought up here. And the same thing with the vast majority of the other games against too. I mean, I got to say right now, Forster kind of reminds me a little bit of what we had with Scott Hartnell a little bit. The only difference was he doesn't drop the gloves. Or maybe like a Danny Briere, or maybe or like a Jake Voracek is probably where I was going at. Maybe
even like some flashes of like Simone Gagne.
Yeah,
just a guy that can shoot at a tight angle if need be, and he has a very very solid chance of being able to put that puck in the net.
Yeah, like Snipe City, like Jim Jackson would call it. So that's the thing, man.
It's incredible to see with Tyson Forster this year, especially on those 2 in 9. It was just the movement. The Philadelphia was just trying. They weren't even really trying. They were just at will moving themselves forward and putting New Jersey so far on their heels that they couldn't even figure anything out.
Right.
The quick little give and go from Konechny to Cates, or no, Konechny to Forster to find Cates to find Forster for the second one. And it was right off of a face-off. Face-off, puck bounces around a little bit. Konechny just wheels back, scoops it up at the top of the face-off circle in the neutral zone. Right wing side, bang. Hits Forster, and it's off.
Right.
The second that puck hit the tape on Forster's stick, all 5 just going, because he had enough space to be able to make that step in, find Cates as he's coming in, getting a half a step on a defender. Boom, everything opened up for that second goal.
Oh, yeah.
And then the third goal, like just the way they were playing throughout that New Jersey game was exactly how you wanted to see Philadelphia play, knowing the talent that they have.
Yeah. And that's the thing too.
Like finding Michkov in stride. Couturier did. Like honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. On that breakaway, can I just be honest? Can I just be 100%?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
That made Michkov look like a 10-year-old skating for the first time. Like he was leaned so far over. I think the stick was actually holding him up for a second. It was just really funny to see. But man, they were fine. Like even I think on Noah Cates' goal in the St. Louis game, like Forster got a puck. He was getting pinned to the wall, and he put it through his legs and the defender's legs to find Noah Cates for Cates to put it top shelf short side. Like that and I'm pretty sure from what I saw, it was like maybe a third of a look that Forster was able to get before the body got to him. He positioned himself in such a way that he was able to see just enough of Cates there to be like, oh yeah, someone's there.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is the thing that's really surprising is that you think about it. I mean, with Michkov and you think about it with Zegras and Forster and all that too, they crush the net a lot. I mean, it's crazy to think how they what's the word? I mean, I guess the word is like sometimes when you think of old time Flyers hockey, you think high and wide, but they find ways to get to the puck and also retrieve the puck like they did a couple nights ago against the Devils, like finding rebounds and trying to dig that puck into the net. And it's probably that philosophy that Rick Tocchet was trying to show to the Flyers is that, like sometimes it's like I want to bring back that mentality of like old school Flyers hockey of crashing the net, and it's showing. Like I said before, it's like these players are coming to play every single night.
Yeah, and it's we've seen it a lot throughout the season. The amount of mad dash type scrambles for a loose puck in front of the net. Granted, like 65-70% of the time, the puck's just going into a corner or finding its way out for the other team to start making their way up. But they're scrambling for these pucks in front, man. It's been awesome. Like I was saying, like Noah Cates putting himself in position for deflections multiple times throughout both of these games. If you can just get something near the net, you're going to have things happen. You just have to get the puck on net. Like the move during the power play in the New Jersey game was perfect. Like there were so many really good, even though they were cross ice passes that could be a little bit dangerous, like down in the circles a little bit. They're finding these seams that I'm sitting there seeing the entire ice from overhead, and I'm not spotting that seam.
Yeah.
And it's insane to watch them be able to play sometimes. But I'm not going to lie, though. This happens with every team throughout a season. Like you said, there are times where a lot of their games are very hard fought and very close. But there are some times where sometimes you just lose ugly. And Philadelphia has lost ugly a few times this year. But to win a game where another team loses ugly is always a huge confidence boost, especially in the position that New Jersey's in, being one of the top teams in not only the division but the league.
Yeah.
To be able to beat them and be like, look at them, they are so beatable. Like that kind of thing could actually end up causing a bit of a crash for the Devils over the next like couple weeks. It's very possible. Sometimes all a team needs is that one backbreaker of a loss, and they start to fall, and another team just needs to be able to deal someone that backbreaker of a loss before they really get going.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, you think about it too with the Devils, before we move on here. Ever since they lost Jack Hughes, sometimes it's going to come back and hurt them when it matters the most, especially, like, I mean, yeah, sure, they got a couple players like Brad here and then also a player here and there like a Luke Hughes and sometimes Heischer, but sometimes when you don't have your key players, sometimes it can turn into a real tailspin. I think it was the big example of that. That was like on Saturday night against the Flyers. I mean, after like trying to come back into the game, and they didn't. I mean, they made a fought battle for the Flyers, made it like a fought battle between the Flyers and the Devils. But I guess we can just say it's a little bit of a relief that we didn't have to deal with Jack Hughes, because heaven forbid if we like make that happen and like the Devils go on a rally and come back and win the game. I mean, that's what I thought. Because you think about it before, like with this Flyers team, like a few years ago, if they have a good lead, sometimes like it's either that the defense like is not compatible, and the goaltender, like a Carter Hart situation, will give up the goals that are desperately needed because the defense can't find a way to control the puck. Now it's like the Flyers, like when they have a lead, sometimes, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit like helter skelter, but sometimes when they win games, it's actually a very comfortable win, especially like a hard fought win more for the team, especially like the team. That's the first periods have been a little bit of a struggle for them as of lately, but I think they woke up. I think they finally woke up on Saturday against New Jersey, and I think it's gonna continue here tonight against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, absolutely agree. It's a lot about the mindset that you have going into that kind of a game. And you just came off of a very strong, hard battled win over a pretty decent St. Louis Blues team who literally 6 days before that had beaten you. So you come into it knowing that you need your get back. You've had enough time off to sort of get all of last week completely out of your system. You've completely purged it at this point. Now it's go time. And you go in, Falk puts you down 2. It's 2-0 Justin Falk. Let's be honest. It was 2-0 at that point. And then
Falk's been our kryptonite for a handful of years. I do agree with that.
Yeah, even during his time in Carolina, like the guy's been nasty. But then you fight back, and then you get a really good transition play in overtime to get 2-0. Sanheim with Konechny off to his side. Sanheim buries that, game over. Carry that momentum into Saturday. And not going to lie, dude, like you said, even without Jack Hughes, they still have decent talent. Nico Hischier, Timo Meyer, like they have a bunch of really good guys.
I forgot about Timo Meyer too. Gonna admit,
yeah, and Timo Meyer's the one that puts them up 1-0 to start that game.
Yeah,
you start off on a back foot. Then you're just like, you know what? Let's just hold them here. Keep it 1-0, maybe 1-1. And the second that you've get that puck back again, like the daylight opened in the floodgate.
Yeah.
And New Jersey's just standing there watching this gate open, seeing this tidal wave come rushing in at them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. You have all the momentum in the world right now. Go into Tampa, crush Tampa, carry it through on this road trip, because you want to come back into Philadelphia in December on such a high note. Like you're playing. Who was it again? We're playing. I am the worst with it.
We got Tampa Bay tonight. It's like a Florida road trip. We got Tampa Bay tonight, and we got actually got a little bit of a road trip. We got Tampa Bay tonight. We got Florida on Wednesday, and I think we got. Oh, that's why we got the Islanders on Black Friday around the Eagles game.
Yeah, we do that every year on Black Friday. Yeah, Tampa, Florida, New York, New Jersey. You're back home December 1st playing Pittsburgh. So you guys will be with us this time next week before we go into a Flyers Penguins game at home.
Battle of Pennsylvania. Oh my God.
The first one since before Thanksgiving.
Wow. You know what's funny?
So
I totally forgot about the Penguins. I forgot we played the Penguins.
Yeah, if you can pull, in my opinion, if you can pull 3 of 4, I'm fine. I'm fine with the loss to Florida. Sure. Honestly, if you can beat Tampa, beat the Isles, and then whoop the Devils again for the second time in a week.
Oh my God!
I mean, come back home to play Pittsburgh. Like it would be such a big momentum carry to get at least get 2 wins out of these 4. But I just don't think that we lose to New Jersey, and I don't think we lose to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so actually, it's a good segue here.
You have a very strong chance to win against the Isles in New York on Black Friday. The Islanders are kind of reeling a little bit right now.
Yeah,
so you have a very solid chance of having a great week to come back home to.
Yeah, for sure. So actually, I was going to segue into that keys to the game here tonight, but I guess we nailed it on the head about what could happen in a week or so between tonight with the Lightning and the Panthers, and then the Devils, and then the Islanders, and then the Devils, and then the Penguins next week. Before that's going to be that those games. I mean, if like you said there, Austin. I was just calling you Mitch by accident. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. If you take 4 out of 5, like, and especially if you lose that game against Florida, but you win against like the Lightning tonight, and you win against the Devils again, and you win against the Islanders, and then come home against the Penguins. I mean, that stretch could tell you some really good positivity for this Flyers team going forward, and especially coming into next week with the Penguins coming into town looking to seek revenge after the last time they played against each other. So, yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a stretch yet, but kind of a little bit of a semi-stretch a little bit, because
I feel like this stretch is the calm before the storm.
Right.
Because you have these 4 on the road, and then next week it's Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and then here's where the storm hits: Colorado, San Jose, Vegas, Carolina, Montreal. Like, that's a stretch, man.
That's a stretch, man. Yeah, for sure. That is a stretch, dude.
There's your true, in Joe Marks fashion, there is your true litmus test.
Litmus test, the gauntlet. Exactly right, brother.
Games starting with Colorado, ending with Montreal from the 7th to the 16th.
Yeah, that's going to be a stretch. That's going to be a gauntlet.
500, bro.
Oh my God, yeah,
man. Oh man, if you at least finish 500, look out, because this team is going to have a fire lit if they finish 500 in that stretch.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Colorado still has one loss, right?
One or two, yeah.
One or two, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been playing really good hockey, and we'll probably talk about that around the National. I think they played tonight, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, even that series against last week against the Stars and that stretch between St. Louis and Dallas. I mean, yeah, Dallas didn't go the way we expected to go, but beating the Devils is a really good test for this Flyers team, especially like you mentioned against that calm against the Storm and that litness test. And also, I call it the gauntlet coming up in the next couple of weeks or so, like before the calm, before the Storm. Like you said, I think that will be if you actually go 500 against these teams, you're right there. I think you're right there. I think it will be easier said than done that the Flyers, dare I say this, but maybe there will be a sea of orange come April when the time calls for it.
Yeah. And Colorado doesn't play until Wednesday, and their current record is 16-1-5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, they've been losing a lot of overtime losses, but only one loss in regulation in almost 2 months. That's a pretty damn amazing, dude.
2 in overtime, man.
Wow.
Mikko Rantanen, who?
Yeah, who needs? Yeah, Mikko Rantanen is like turning into a little bit of an instigator, like a Darian Hatcher. Nate
McKinnon has 37 points this year.
Wow, he's been good. Him and I think what's the other guy? Well, McCarr's been their big storyline too, but I think it's more McKinnon.
Been really good too, but yeah, McKinnon's been the guy this year. 17 goals and 20 assists for him.
Damn, that's impressive. That's very impressive. So I'll ask you this question before we move on here. So obviously tonight's keys of the game here tonight. We got the Flyers taking on Tampa. What will be the keys for you tonight, especially for this next stretch here before the gauntlet in the next couple weeks?
Let me actually get a quick peek at what the goalie matchup is, because if it's Vladar, then that's going to be like one of my main things. Is just he's been
Vladar versus Vasilevsky. Ooh, that'll be good. That'll be really good tonight.
Yeah, it's Vladar Vasilevsky.
No, so I think if that's the goaltender matchup, that could be a good matchup.
Do they have it listed anywhere?
I think they got hang on. I usually look up the starting goaltender matchups before I do anything else.
Posted yet?
Yeah, I think they might not have posted yet. If I can,
it'll more than likely be Vladar Vasilevsky.
Yeah, actually, no, it's confirmed. It's Urson versus Vasilevsky tonight. All right,
Urson Vasilevsky. Okay, that's still a decent matchup.
It's not a bad matchup.
Urson's still a very solid goalie, so it's not going to be terrible. The main
guy, he's like 301 and 2 this year with a 3.30 goals against average. That's not bad.
Your main thing is going to be you. Key number one, you've been having incredible goaltending play, and you don't really want to hope to ride on that exclusively, but definitely ride the solid goaltending play and keep the defense as intense as it's been in front of him.
For sure.
Key number 2 for me, contain Jake Gensel. Dude has 12
goals.
That's
what I was going at.
22 total points. And then even Kucherov as well. Both of those guys, if you can contain them, you'll be in a better spot for being able to win the game. And then the third star for me, just honestly, the tough play in front of the net, keep that up. Because you've been causing a lot of chaos in front of the net this past week. I mean, it was granted it was only 2 games, but that was enough like doorstep chaos for like 5 games. Keep that up, because a lot of these teams can't handle that kind of high traffic, high pure chaos situation in front of their own net.
Yeah, definitely.
Start hitting these teams in the mouth in front of their own net, and just cause as much chaos as you can, because you have enough players that can pick a puck up as it trickles away, take a quick step back and fire one, that you can end up with so many goals this week if you can just cause enough chaos.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, I think we're on the same boat here. Is that I mean, you think of Tampa Bay last couple games? I mean, against Washington, I mean, they scored four goals in the first period, like the Flyers did. So it's like kind of like it's going to be like a scoring affair, and I hope it is because, I mean, I would love to see this if the Flyers make the postseason. I would like to see this as a first round matchup to see what they will be capable of against Tampa Bay. But for me, the keys to the game here tonight, for me, number one is that power play for Tampa Bay is pretty damn good. So I mean, with
Yeah.
Bjork Strand and also obviously, like you mentioned, Jake Gensel and Nikita Kucherov, especially, that's going to be a big that might be on point here, and especially being on point, Braden Point's another good example of that too. So he's another good example that Tampa Bay's been winning games a lot too, and even they brought back Nick Paul too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's especially against this Tampa Bay team, the way this team is made up compared to last year.
Mm-hmm.
There's still those couple of guys you always have to keep an eye on, but every single guy on that Tampa Bay lineup can be dangerous. You know, Nikita Kucherov. I mean, I'm pretty sure Victor Hedman still plays there.
Yeah, I think he's injured right now, though. I think he's on
but like,
injured reserve.
but there's very decent talent down there in Tampa. So
Mm-hmm.
just come in, just play your game, play with the same intensity that you played against both St. Louis and New Jersey, and you should be able to not clearly walk through them, but you should be able to get through with a solid, well-earned win. Even if it's a battle near the end, you have a really solid chance with the talent that you have.
Yeah. And my dad, Joe Scorza, says if you have to play disciplined and also stay out of the box for sure, because it looks like there was a little bit of too many penalties on Saturday night against New Jersey too. I mean, especially on the power play too.
Yeah, Saturday there was that quick little, like, I guess you could call it like a valley between the peaks of how the first period and third period went with Philadelphia. They definitely were a bit more tame before those floodgates really opened. Like you thought that there was that strong possibility that New Jersey could get away with it. But you know, even though they were making some mistakes, their penalty kill was solid again.
Yeah,
they've been
power
having
kill.
they've been having an incredible penalty kill again this year. Their power play has been very solid this year. They moved the puck really well on the power play. Special teams is going to be big, especially in a game against a team like a Tampa. They actually can really move pretty well. So there's the possibility they can try and draw a lot of penalties on you as they get by you. But the more disciplined you are, especially in a game like one that Tampa can force you to play, you'll see some solid production if you can stay clean.
Right. Yeah, and that's perfectly well said by you too. And I think that's probably where I'm at too with the power play. And also, I think the one thing that was really the positive with this power play this year is that Trevor Zegras has actually resurrected his power play into elite now. I think that was the one thing that we're missing. I mean, yeah, sure, they got Matvey and Michkov in the way on that power play last year, but they didn't have that like veteran presence, kind of like the Eagles had last year with Saquon and Barkley. It's just like they were like one piece away from like really like ripping the cover off the ball, if that's the right terminology for it. But yeah, I think right now the power play and more the penalty kill has been resilient. I think that's the right word I can say. And I think the other thing that makes this power play so elite like it is now is because of Trevor Zegras, and I think that's going to move one step further here tonight. But I think the penalty kill, especially against Tampa Bay tonight, will be a big factor in this game. Is that like even my dad Joe Scorza says, I think the number two or three PK in the league right now, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to
actually, it's pretty amazing when you think about it, man.
Yeah, being in the top 3 in penalty kill is huge, considering what this team was on special teams just a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
At this point last year, it was beyond anemic on the special team side of the block,
right?
And it's been such a great turnaround for Philadelphia. Not
sure has.
And like we've made talk about specific players throughout the year being, you know, revelations and things like that for this team. The special teams play as a team, I think, has been the biggest turnaround for the organization in the last 3 years. It was honestly, for both categories, one of, if not the worst, consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're sitting top 3 in penalty kill.
That's amazing.
That's
pretty amazing.
At worst, top 5.
Right?
From being almost, if not actually, dead last year.
Yeah.
Like, how incredible is that? Like, that just goes to show that this team is buckling down, and they're playing the game the way that it's meant to be played. It's so good to see. Like, they're finally getting back to playing real hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel as much as it is like heavy kudos to Rick Tocchet, of course. He's the guy who's getting these guys ready for every single game throughout the season.
For sure.
More than anything, this should be the most glaring middle finger to John Tortorella that anyone could ever throw at him.
It's the truth. It's the damn truth, man.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. When the hire was made, I was livid. Because I knew what was going to happen. I said, great, this team is like, I remember saying to the guys in the group chat that we were in, I was like, this is the worst hire ever. This guy is the term that I used was draconic in his coaching style.
Oh my God.
Because people did like a few people in our group, they were like, nah, dude, I think it's really good. I'm like, this guy is still trying to coach like it's pre-04 lockout hockey, bro. You don't win like that. You can't play the game like that anymore. You know what they did after the 04 lockout? They eliminated the 2-line pass as a call, as a play stopper. Tortorella was still trying to have them play line to line. Like, bro, go to the retirement home and watch old episodes of MASH or something. Better yet, just walk around and find guys to argue with, dog. Like, you can do that on Facebook. You can argue with a person in the media or even just people on their page on Facebook.
Yeah, it was you
don't need to get paid millions of dollars to put out a bad product on the ice, and then just have your main things be alienating your captain.
Right, that's right.
And arguing with the media. Like, they were like, he really was.
No, you're right.
Ever since the cup run that he had with, I think it was the Rangers, that man was out. That man was out of date like bad bread, bro.
Wow.
He got stale so quick that. No, it was with Vancouver. It was with
Vancouver. That's Vancouver. Oh yeah, right.
Go, when it was them in Boston, like every other year for the cup.
Sure, yeah.
After that, he went to Columbus and was a joke. Right. He went back to the Rangers and was a joke. Literally, he didn't have a job for 3 years. And then Philadelphia was like, "Yeah, dude, you're perfect for the job." What? And like I said, the whole thing that he did with Couturier, consistently scratching him and benching him and stuff, like
even Michkov, I got given Michkov a little bit on discipline.
Y'all as an organization put the Captain C on Couturier's jersey for a reason, and you're going to bench him? He's the guy that's going to be the person that leads by example, and you're not going to let him be an example? You're going to make him an example for you instead of for your entire team? No.
Wow.
No. Thank God he's gone. Thank God no one wants him now.
Well,
and thank the Lord that Danny Briere was like, "Hey, Rick, come on,
just don't be a dick. Don't be an a-hole.
Just don't go too far." Tocchet was like, "Okay, say less."
Say less, do more, say less, you know?
Exactly. Tocchet's not going to argue with people because he knows that what you're seeing out on the ice is exactly what this team is.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to make sure that this team is putting its best foot forward every single night.
Right.
And you're seeing it every single night. We just got we got it handed to us last week. I'm not going to lie. Like the previous week. We got it handed to us. Edmonton, we got worked by Edmonton, fought one out with St. Louis again, got worked by Dallas. We were licking our wounds coming back home, bro. That 4 days we healed up and said, you know what? One of the teams that we actually got one up on, let's get them again. And they had you looking down a barrel at one point.
Right.
And you said, nah. Fought all the way back, showed that you literally are that team this year. You are a team that will not go down without a fight. You win in overtime. You go up against a division rival midday and steamroll them. Like this is what Rick Tocchet envisions this team being. A team that if they're not grinding it out to win, they're grinding you to dust.
Right.
And that's exactly what you want from a team, especially a team that's going to be considered, even if they are ranked low, a buzzsaw come late season. Because if we're not in the playoffs, we're going to ruin somebody's chances this year, bro. This team has that capability to be like, hey, man, there's 3 games left. New Jersey's 5 points out. They need to beat us and beat, like, I don't know, the Rangers in New York to make it in.
Right.
We beat them 7-2. Like, like I feel like that, like, even if we're not going to make the playoffs, this team is going to be the team that everyone's going to be like, I hope to God we don't have to see them near the end of the year and we have to try and beat them, beat them to make it. Because we're going to be that team that's like, man, looks like you're standing really close to an edge, bud.
Right, you're well. There's a saying that I always say this saying a lot. Biting the hand of one's venom, like an old wise tale of a Chicago Blackhawk would say about it. But yeah, I mean, you're right about the Tortorella thing. I mean, at first when it happened was I kind of felt a little bit relieved. I'm not gonna lie to you, just to give a little bit of a juice to the team. Because of like what they had with Alain Vigneault, it's like, okay, now we just need somebody that's like a Laviolette-esque, you know.
Yeah.
But then the game he benched Couturier and then he benched Michkov. It's like, okay, and then he was treating the media like he's like, I'm only here so I just won't get fined, like, you know, like Marshawn Lynch over again. But I think the reason why it was sour is because the team, like, I think Tortorella was thinking he was the big wise ass in the room. Maybe that's probably what it was. Maybe it's because like, oh, like, you know, dare I say this? I know we weren't around for Rich Coach. Maybe you were, or maybe a couple of people on the chat here were. But he would be like, "I'm not a coach, and you're not a coach." Like same kind of philosophy here with Rich Coach. I did, and after a while, I said, "Okay, maybe Tortorella is not friendly to the media, but he's doing it on the ice." It only took 1 year to see the Flyers get back to where they were, and then the next year, just like that, it turned off like a switch. You know, it just turned off that quickly. I mean, and I think the reason why it did turn off is because the lack of benchings of Couturier being out there, not being out there, or Michkov not being out there. And it's like, okay, is Tortorella only here so he is just getting a paycheck, or is he here to find relevancy to this broken down Flyers team at this point?
I mean, for me, the final nail in the coffin for me personally with Tortorella was, I think it was going into year 2. He had Travis Konechny come into his office and he handed Travis Konechny a blank piece of paper and said, "This is what I know about you. My guy, you were coaching him for 82 games last year. How do you know nothing about him? He's one of your star players and you know nothing about him."
Oh, Jesus. That's bad. That I'm gonna lie to you. That's bad.
And then he gave TK the "you're my child" treatment. He was like, "Write down what you want to be for this team."
What are we like? What? Hang on a second.
Konechny's almost 30, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like wait a second.
TK knows exactly what he wants to be for this team. He wants to be a contributor.
He wants to be a contributor. He wants to be a. It's like,
yeah. Like,
wait a second. So what is this?
The second I heard that, I was like,
"What gonna be?"
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, he's in early onset dementia. Like Tortorella has his mind's actually gone. Like this man has lost the plot.
I mean, I think he had a little bit of PTSD of like thinking about that post-lockout years.
Dude, I don't know where it happened,
Christ,
but something happened to John Tortorella mentally I think he still thinks it's like 2007.
Either 2007. I remember when it was with Tampa Bay, he would like rip a reporter a new one, and then we'll get the F out of here. All right, see ya. Like, and it's just, and actually, may he rest in peace. He actually did pass away like not long ago. I think it was like Phil Brooks was his name. He was like a beat writer for like either the Rangers or the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I think it was Columbus.
Might have been Columbus. Might have been.
I feel like that's where he started to have a lot of animosity with.
Is there like his later Tampa Bay years?
Tampa, he had some like here and there, but it was maybe like once every other year. It was like, oh, Tortorella did that thing with the media guys again, like ha ha ha, and then he went to like I think it was Columbus after the first New York stint. And they were like,
yeah,
oh, it's like every other week now. Tortorella is saying something to somebody and it's starting some sort of nonsense. And
well, I think it was him and Anthony Sanfilippo. I had a little bit of a beef too.
Yeah, Sanfilippo, yeah. And then when he went to Vancouver, the amount of times that like he actually had to be held back by his own players from going into the Calgary Flames locker room and during an intermission. Like the man had lost his brain by the time he went to being this guy that would like every other year be a Stanley Cup contender coach. And then went back to New York, did a little bit of stuff there, had the whole thing with like Ryan McDonough, where McDonough
Marian Gaborik too. I remember the Marian Gaborik days.
Him, Marian Gaborik, Brandon Dubinsky, like all these guys left. All these guys left. and then he stopped. He lost the job there because the team was a shambles. Like Tony D'Angelo was fighting people like on his own team in the locker room.
Yep.
And then he no job for 3 years, and Philly was like, yes. Like, did you not see the absolute napalm fire that he came walking out of in New York?
The big faux party.
This man came from the largest burning dumpster I had ever seen in my entire time as a hockey fan.
Oh yeah.
To walk into an equally,
you make a good point there. I agree.
Sized, if not smaller, dumpster to then burn that whole thing to the ground.
Sure, yeah.
Like, after he stared a Stanley Cup down a couple of times, he just started burning everything as he would leave.
He's like the Joker, like he's burning the houses down, burning hospitals down.
Like, literally, like he's walking down the street, and he's like, "Why?" And then it explodes. Like, oh shit! How could the NHL let me do this?
Yeah, burning down bridges, basically, literally, like burning down like Walt Whitman Bridge and the New York State Bridge, Empire State Bridge.
Gosh,
oh my god!
Back in the day, though, holy shit, was he a hell of a coach, man?
He was.
He fit that time perfectly.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Mike Sullivan from the Penguins. He's now with the Rangers. I think he's having another vision of John Tortorella-esque. I mean, he's not doing too well with the Rangers. I said maybe it's like Laviolette. Maybe it's something about those Massachusetts guys that are just tough.
Yeah, I do believe Mike Sullivan's on a leave right now from the team.
Oh,
dealing with some personal stuff. So,
oh crap, I didn't know that.
I do hope he's able to get the help that he needs and come back to being able to coach some quality hockey for the Rangers, because man,
yeah,
he is a very successful head coach, and regardless of what he has going on, man, everybody's got their battles, and it's all there's always things bigger than hockey, and this is one of them. And you really do hope that he's able to see himself through this with the support systems that he has, and the support that the league can provide for players and coaches. So, absolute prayers up to Mike Sullivan, hell of a coach. I feel like in comparison to Tortorella, though, Mike Sullivan is an angel. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, to him, John Tortorella is the devil, and Mike Sullivan is like the angel behind his wings or something.
Like, like a biblically accurate angel. Like,
yeah, man. So I'll ask you one more question here about that. Actually, let's change the subject here around the National Hockey Week since we're talking about Johnson Well and everybody included. Just got a couple games here tonight. Obviously, Flyers play tonight against the Lightning. That's set for 7 o'clock. The other big matchups coming into this game tonight. Obviously, New Jersey back home at Prudential Center taking on the Red Wings. Blues taking on the Rangers. Capitals taking on Columbus. Panthers taking on Nashville. Senators taking on the Kings. And then Golden Knights taking on the Mammoth. Does any game stick out to you after the Flyers game? You're going to keep a close eye on, or
The
doesn't look like a
two,
lot of good games tonight. Going to admit.
for me, it's the 2 9 o'clock games: the Golden Knights and the Mammoth in Utah, and the Senators and Kings in LA. I mean, both of those, all four of those teams are very solid teams. I mean, the Kings, honestly, just like the Rangers, can't really seem to buy a win at home this year. But
something about that too. I forgot about that.
There's a couple different teams that just really can't seem to get wins at home, and it's a wild thing this year. But yeah, those two games specifically, like Jack Eichel's looking good again this year for Vegas.
Yeah,
as we've talked about him before, and I'll talk about him again. Stützle has been incredible for Ottawa again this year. And even for Utah, like Nick Schmaltz has been a very solid get for them.
Keller's been really pretty good too. I like Clayton Keller a lot too.
Yeah, Clayton Keller is really good, and Kempe with the Kings, like they're solid play throughout all four of those teams. But I just want to see if, especially with the LA game, I just want to see if LA can get win number 2 at home tonight. If them and the Rangers both can get win number 2 at home tonight, things will start. I feel like the universe will start to balance for certain teams this year.
Yeah, right. So for me, I'm probably in the same category as you are. I think it's probably more the Kings and Senators, or probably Mammoth and Golden Knights. I don't know why, but I might probably watch that Nashville game just to see what the Florida Panthers do against them. Obviously, they're not as the same team as they once were, obviously. And I always thought when they acquired Stamkos, I thought maybe it was a big mistake bringing him in, and I think that the Lightning should have kept him, obviously, for captain material. But like I said, the Blue Jackets, I mean, okay, they're having a good season, but it's not anything special. Capitals, that's going to be Ovechkin watch until he hits the 1,000 goals, So,
yeah, I'll definitely still peek in on that one just to see if Ovi gets one throughout the night.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Okay, so we got an injury report here before we move on here. Oh, excuse me. Oops, I didn't mean to do it. I would guess the same injuries that we once have. I would guess it's obviously Forster's back, and then also Rasmus Westerlein's still on IR. Oliver Bunk is only just the 2 players on IR. So basically, majority of the Flyers lineup is going to be playing tonight in this game. So it's going to be a very good challenge for them, especially against Tampa Bay tonight, like we alluded to earlier.
Yeah, the last updates that were given for Ristolainen and Bonk respectively were both on the 27th. Bonk was said to be progressing in his recovery, but there was no timeline given for his return. And as of the 27th of October, Ristolainen remained about 4 to 6 weeks away from returning to the lineup. So
yeah, I remember we talked about
that. They're saying estimated December 1st.
Okay.
So I would say keep an eye out towards like probably I would more say probably like mid-December for a potential Risto return. And even then it'll probably be on a limited minutes type of thing for a little bit, for like a week or two before you start to really see him get his full run. But it's a very strong possibility that that one of these guys, probably like a Juleson or something like that, is probably going to end up getting sent down for a Risto to come back in. So
yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, they could definitely use the help, but Ristolainen has become a bit of a pylon in the last couple of years, so we'll see how it goes. We have, thankfully, the gift of time on our side right now until he comes back to potentially have us, maybe give Briere a reason to cut ties with that big contract, with the way our defense has been playing, and gain some asset in return. There's tons of different ways this can go. Also, the guy that the Flyers got from Ottawa in that trade that we talked about last week, literally the next day, waived them.
Seriously?
Yes, that's serious, dude.
Oh my
I saw
God.
that and I went, you're kidding.
Oh my God. It's funny because I said to myself, was this just a bag of peanuts? Was this just a bag of peanuts? More like that we just trade him for? I mean, damn, well, I'll say this right now. I didn't know much about him. I said, if he's a nobody, that's when you know. Like I'm a big like hockey aficionado. If I don't know who he is, that tells you all you need to know. That tells you all you need to know, right?
He had spent 6 years in the minors. Seventh, what was it? Like, said he was like a seventh round pick or something like that. So like it kind of makes sense.
So he's not even Tom Brady material. So that's I mean, he literally is mystery irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, seriously, it was.
Oh my God!
I just saw that and I went,
"That's fast."
Well, that's shit.
Fast. Well, I'll be a son of a gun, right? Okay. So we got one more topic here before we move on here. So it's a look ahead for the Flyers. Obviously, we talked about Tampa Bay tonight, and then we got Florida, and we got the Islanders, and then the Devils, and then next Monday it'll be a big old game up at the exit when the Flyers take on the Penguins in the Battle of Pennsylvania. Are there any like last words you want to say about this Flyers team before we say goodbye until next week?
I'm just gonna say this. Here's my prediction for this week.
Oh yeah, I meant to say, what's your prediction for this? Like how this is gonna go? Like good way, good segue.
3-1. Have a good Thanksgiving. Let's stomp Pittsburgh next week.
Yeah. Enough said.
Enough said.
Right. Yeah, I gotta say right now, I think I'm in the same boat as you, same as you are. Obviously, we're gonna have some Thanksgiving turkey, and then we'll feast away on a penguin next week too. So that's gonna be something to keep a close eye on too. Canadian turkey as a penguin, I guess, if that's the right terminology, or Pittsburgh's terminology.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, for me, my final thoughts are, same thing we said. If we take 4 out of 5 against these teams, like they'll be right in the hunt, and I'm really thinking right now that's going to be a really good step forward, especially what the season has been like for the Flyers. And even, like I said, even when we win games and lose games, it's not – I mean, yeah, sure, you're going to have a clunker here and there against the Dallas Stars like you brought up us a couple of weeks ago. But, yeah, I mean, I think they're in the right spot. I think they're in the right position to win more games. I think tonight will be a good test. Then you got the Panthers on Wednesday will be another good test. I think we win against the Islanders. I think we play good against the Devils like we did last Saturday. And we'll be talking more about that. I think next week we'll probably talk about why we can't maybe have our history of our fair share of hanging the Penguins. We'll probably talk about maybe our best, maybe Flyers versus Penguins rivalry. Maybe talk about maybe we're doing in the chat, like what's your favorite moment of the Flyers versus Penguins series. I mean, obviously, you can think about the 5 overtime game, maybe the 2012 game when Claude Giroux the shift, or Crosby turned into a real crumb in that Game 3 series. But we'll dive into that all next week because the Penguins are in town, and I'll be looking forward to that in every which way. All right, that's going to wrap it up here for this edition of this week in Flyers hockey. I apologize for Joey Marks for not being here, but we had a good show with you, Austin. Great stuff as always. But like always, I always end the show off right. Where can people see you next, my friend?
Right down here in the bottom of my camera right here, twitch.tv/Hambo26. Been sort of goofing around with a few different games over the past couple of weeks. So just sort of gonna probably end up spinning a wheel and figuring out what I'm gonna end up playing either later today or tomorrow. But I did want to take a quick second. Today is me and my wife's 8-year wedding anniversary. So I just wanted to say, Jess,
happy
love
anniversary,
you. Happy
man.
Anniversary. One of my biggest supporters, and I am absolutely happy to have her in my corner. It's been
nice.
We've been together for 13 years, married for 8 now, and it's been incredible. So just wanted to put that out there really quick. Happy anniversary, Jess. I love you.
That's cool stuff, man. That's great stuff. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're not going to be on Fly Like an Eagle this week. We did it last night for the post game, so it's going to be a little bit of a A little bit of a off spring kind of week. Obviously, we got the Eagles on Black Friday. We got the Sixers here and there. We got the Flyers for a couple games here and there too. So nothing flashy here this week, but also just great show like always. You always do, Austin. And hopefully we'll have Joey Marks next week talking about the best between the Flyers and Penguins included. All right, so that's going to wrap it up here. So now for everyone behind the scenes and for everyone that made it work here, for Austin and for Joey and for myself, this has been This Week in Flyers Hockey. And from all of us to all of you, have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. And also happy birthday to you and Joey. Next time I'll see you guys is in the next couple weeks or so. Until then, we'll see you next week. Go Flyers and have a great Thanksgiving. Talk to you then.
Happy Thanksgiving, folks.